What's up, y'all? It's T-Turn. Today we're looking at more of y'all's theories for Pokemon in 2024. Unova Johto. Let's go to the first one. Possible Johto remakes. It gets interesting here. Yo, T-Tar, at the end of Parent's Quest, she gives you a sport ball, described as being from the Johto region. I find it strange that they specifically mention Johto here and that it was the prize for this event. So what he's talking about is the tedious 10-hour quest of unlocking the Paradox legendaries. You have to do a bunch of things to complete your decks, and at the end the prize you get isn't a master ball. She even says, I'm sorry, I don't really got a prize for you, just take this. I know I didn't promise any rewards or anything, but I've got to thank you for putting the mystery to rest. Here you go, the prize is the real catch. A freaking sport ball? That's so ass. And it's literally just a sport ball, but it mentions it's from the Johto region. I never thought much of this, but now thinking about it, could you imagine this was alluding to Johto being revisited next? I mean, it's supposed to, right? Just as we had Let's Go Kanto, Let's Go Johto should be the next games. So this branches out into a couple thoughts. The first is, so Let's Go Johto still carried on Mega Evolution, remember? Could you imagine if Let's Go Johto, it carries on Terastal, even though you can't really visualize that because the Let's Go games are supposed to be bare bones? Well, not graphically, they're beautiful. But think of it like this, right? It's not impossible the Terastal phenomenon could be in Johto. Kitakami, right? The Terastal phenomenon is there. Kitakami's like right beside Johto. I'm about to show y'all. Okay, so this is a map of all of Japan. Alright, so down here, this is Hoenn. It's rotated on its side. That's why there's a lot of water over here, because it's literally the end of the map. Sinnoh, you can tell it's this up here. It's a very obvious Sinnoh shape. Kanto and Johto are actually this area here. This part here would be like the Lake of Rage area. This box, this would be Kanto and Johto. Kitakami's right up here. So it's not far-fetched if somehow for hundreds of years there's been the Terastal phenomenon in Kitakami. They could make up some BS or maybe have someone bring over the phenomenon to Johto remakes so that the trainers are using it there. I'm just saying this because if they're trying to build something big with this Terastal gimmick for this whole gen, which would include Paldea, the Gen 9 games, and potentially Unova Remakes, it would be interesting if it actually also carried on to whatever Johto revisit we get. So just like we had the Fairy Gym Leader, we get a couple other trainers just showing up here. This wouldn't introduce any new Terastal states, of course. I'm just trying to compare this to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. But I think because Game Freak knows as well that they need to add more things of interest in their remake if they want people to buy it, it's not totally far-fetched that we could get some Terastalizing mixed in with the Johto games. And then there's the sport ball, right? So at the end of all this, she gives you the sport ball and says it's from Johto. It's almost like the game using that as a teaser. Maybe when transferring this sport ball to that game somehow, we can unlock some quest or cutscenes. Now there's a lot they'll do with Let's Go Johto. We're gonna get a green Pokeball Plus with Celebi inside. Maybe a GS ball. Also, I think it's interesting that Pokemon made special paradoxes for the 3 beasts from Johto and the Swords of Justice from Unova. Yeah, whether coincidence or not, they pretty much made paradoxes for the legends of the games that are up next. Don, you know, like, I know we shouldn't be saying this much from a Let's Go Johto game, but could you imagine, like, while we're Listen, they changed things up in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, right? You're right, it's not even you and it's not even red and blue. It's you and and Trace, and you guys are stopping Team Rocket. The story's been changed, so we don't gotta follow the same continuity entirely. So could you imagine we do Johto, and when you go to the Burn Tower crap, it's still Raikou and Suicune, but throughout the games, they also mixed in the Paradox ones. It's not too important to the plot, but something like someone brought in these Pokemon, but they look so much like the legendary beasts. What are they? You know? Imagine Eugene, he's chasing Suicune, he finally corners it, it turns around, it's the T-Rex one. But they don't have a big purpose. Just think of like the most bare bones way. They can just add the Paradox Johto beast in Let's Go Johto. Yeah, they could be cooking. Yeah, there's a lot of hints for Johto. The fact that they actually put us near Johto for the first DLC is really cool. Ku's 2024 predictions. Thinking of Ku's tweet about 2024 predictions, where he showed Kanto, Johto, Paldea, and Unova. I forgot about this. Ku did show Johto as one of the games, at first predictions. He knows what game's next, by the way. Paldea will be represented using the epilogue event. Wait, he's onto something. That's actually genius. Now that Paldea's out of the picture, all we have is Kanto, Johto, and Unova. When they make Johto, Kanto's attached to it, most likely, and then Unova, and that's it. So all 4 of those regions really might be revisited in 2024. Yeah, Pokemon moves so fast. Honestly, if they get rid of the Pokeball tossing feature in a Let's Go Johto game, and then also mix in new elements in the story, just very minimal new elements so that you don't exactly know what to expect when you're playing it, I think I'd have a lot of fun with that game. Johto is beautiful, man. Lacy's mother? T-Tar, apparently the game states that Lacy is from Nimbasa and not Driftvale, does it? Which is interesting despite them clearly saying her dad is a gym leader and having Excadrill on her team. Yeah, so her dad is Clay, but she's apparently from Nimbasa, which is where Alessa is. Don't tell me that's her mother. Oh my gosh, she has Plusle and Minum! Yet she is somehow from the neighboring city. Why would they go so far as to have her hometown be different? Now, what traits does Lacy have that we can infer to be referencing her mother? Well, she has dyed hair. Alright, let's do some investigation. Oh yeah, she did dye her hair. Her hair's supposed to be black. The same color as this. So she has dyed hair and she has an affinity to cuteness. Now, which character from Nimbasa has these 2 traits? Alessa, the electric type gym leader from Nimbasa. Is Alessa cute? Let's see. The Shining Beauty. Okay, so yeah, her hair was yellow in the first games and then black in the second games. Let's see if she talks in a cute way. How can I see her dialogue? And you shouldn't worry, trainers always have Pokemon at their side. It's not only how cute they can be, but also how much you can depend on them. I've decided I need a PR makeover. Okay, so I think that by affinity for cuteness, they mean she's cute. Okay, and Lacy's starting team when you fight her consisted of both electric and ground types. Oh, here we go. Yeah, she's from Nimbasa. I missed this part when I played. You know, that's interesting. See, like Drayden, because he's just straight up Drayden's grandson, for some reason, and I guess he comes from a family that they just raise dragon types. He's just dragon. But Lacy, it was an interesting turn that instead of being a steel trainer, she would be a fairy. But if she's from 2 gym leaders, then it makes sense that she found her own typing even more. That would be kind of a cool reveal if in Unova Revisits, you go to Nimbasa gym and see her as the gym leader. But you thought it'd be Driftvale. Indigo Disc was our Unova remake. Now you got me thinking, T-Tar. You made a good point saying black and white may not be financially beneficial for a Game Freak. Maybe that's why they gave us a little glimpse of it back in Unova with the DLC, rather than making a full game based on Unova again, to make up for the skipped gen and then give us something big for Gen 6 remakes. Y'all, if February rolls around and they announce like Pokemon X something, Y something, that would be insane. People will go crazy on the internet. They'll be like, where is Unova? You know what? Let me know in the comments. Be kind to each other. Which would you be happier with? If they announced a Unova revisit or a Kalos revisit? The other thing with Kalos, right? It's not officially teased, but think about how close it is to Paldea, right? Think about how it's connected to Paldea's map. It's connected to what would be Southern Kalos. Could you imagine they just do the remakes out of order just so they could do the Holy Trinity first? So you got Galar, Paldea, Kalos revisit. Jeez. When you think of it like that and then think back to how much Unova they put into Blueberry Academy, it actually makes sense. Was it too much Unova that they're compensating? Yeah, so pretty much they do Kalos 2024 or whatever. And then when it comes to remaking games after that, whatever, 2027 or something, then they'll do Unova. That's scary, man. I don't know which one I would want. Alright, make sure y'all shank that like button. Keep sending me y'all's theories. We got more to talk about. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.